Up, looks like we are live. What's going on, guys? Welcome to another edition of the Narik Chase channel. I'm your boy Narik Chase, and in this video, we're going ahead and bringing to you another episode of Breaking the Base, episode 137. I have with me here tonight Miss Madam B,
Hi.
and she came up with a wonderful concept for discussion tonight. And in this episode, we are going to be talking about
10 plot twists that hurt once upon a time and 10 that saved it.
now. This she came up while reading an article on Screen Rant. She came across this, and we're gonna go ahead and give our opinions about, you know, because you've already heard what we had to say about Once Upon a Time, but it's interesting seeing that they had these different opinions. I want to see if we agree with it and have a good sit down discussion
I'm sure we will.
with it. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into this conversation.
Okay, well, during Once Upon a Time, you saw how it came to be in the middle and how it ended. And during all the 6 seasons, I'm not gonna say the seven, you saw things that made you go and then you saw things that like, okay, yeah, that's good. But let's get started with number. We'll just start with a hurt. Okay, Zelina is Cora's daughter. They said that hurt once upon a time. What are your thoughts?
I don't think that it did because I actually like Zelina's character, and they did a great job of making the characters, with the with the subplots and the great writing and how they interconnected people's stories. I like Zelina's character, and I like the fact that there was kind of like this person that was like Regina, and Regina had to come up against that person. Now you could say that was Cora at one point,
Mm.
but I think it was better for her to have this like sibling rivalry going on.
Yeah, but even though Zelina is Cora's daughter, it's like Zelina felt like uh, Regina like got the best of it, and she was just off to the side. But even though that we did, experience Regina's all that Regina went through, so um, okay, I guess I don't know.
And I like it, but another because, and this is another thing I like. Our reason why I like it because it's Regina. To her, Regina, because out of all the characters that is in the series, she done so many characters wrong.
Hmm.
This is the first time you kind of is on her side because she didn't mean to do it. I mean, even though you know what I'm saying. To Zelina's character, she took that family, that life that she wanted.
Hmm.
But on Regina's side, she never knew what happened, so she is the victim.
Okay.
And that's why I like it, that it's on that personal level between them. It's like that sibling rivalry, and I do like that because it's like, okay, Regina is finally the victim. I mean, yes, she is a victim in her own right, but this is like something that happened with her that she didn't have any control over.
Okay. Do you think they should have gave Zelina more screen time
Zelina definitely should have had more to do.
besides being green and wicked?
Besides the her introduction into the into that season,
Mm-hmm.
because every season is like half of it's one villain, then half of it's another villain.
Mm-hmm.
Like I liked her, but I wish she would have had a lot more to do. Like after that, she just kind of, yes, she was part of the supporting cast, and I don't mind she was part of the supporting cast, but she just didn't do anything after that.
Yeah, she I was gonna say hook, but you know, I guess it kind of brung her like together with cause Regina and Robin, and then she had Robin and had his baby, so it's kind of like it kind of meshed together.
And even when like the child going on with the child, the baby didn't really wasn't really important. Yes,
Right.
it was important for their storyline, and it helped bring those two characters together.
So would it have been better if like they just moved the baby out of it and she just like had Robin and then they kind of thought about it?
I would, like I said, I just wish with Zelina's character she had more to do, because after her arc, her bad guy arc, that was it was a wrap. She became like this sidekick, this kind of nuisance, and I didn't really like that about that. Like, okay, I would have liked her to have gotten her butt kicked,
Mm-hmm.
went back to Oz, and then plotted for something else,
Right.
and then eventually have her develop an arc.
Which that wasn't with Hades, wasn't it?
No, that was part of it, but even that wasn't like really important. And to some extent, I couldn't tell.
It was more on Hades than it was her. Yeah.
Yeah, but yes, but as far as the Zelina being Regina's sister, I did not have a problem with that.
Okay.
I didn't. What's the next one?
Saved. Henry and Emma's life in New York. They said that saved part of the series.
It did, but how did it save part of the series when the majority of the time they're in Storybrooke? It's not like they traveled back and forth. They only went back there like maybe twice throughout the whole season.
Yeah, it wasn't. Maybe if they would have stayed longer and saw how it, because they only showed a little part of it, then all of a sudden they're back in Storybrooke.
Yeah, and I mean, I can understand if it was like, okay, they set up camp there and then they came to Storybook occasionally.
Mm.
That way, it would have spaced out a lot. It would have spaced out a lot of what was going on with their characters as well as people in Storybrooke. Uh, but it wasn't like that. It was like, okay, like maybe once per season they would go there, or under some type something would happen and they would go there. What was the first season? They came from there. The
Mm.
second season, they forgot about what happened uh, after Magic came and everything. They forgot about it, so that's why they were there. The third season, that's my biggest thing with those. Like, I don't, but I understand what they're saying.
Well, even then, like they was in New York, they couldn't escape magic, of course, because it, it was there.
And think about it. Like, okay, their life in New York. Who was their friends?
Right, you really didn't see them go out. Okay,
She was a bounty hunter, or what is it?
bounty hunter.
Whatever she did, but you don't see her doing that anymore. You didn't really see him go to school like that. You didn't see him hanging out with friends. So you can't say that their life in New York when you don't really see a life in New York. So yeah, sorry about that, buddy. The next one is history repeats itself as the series reboots. I hadn't seen season 7, so I can't really.
But what do you think about it?
I can't.
No. At the end, of course, we already know that like I said, it's going to repeat itself. We know we ain't seen season 7, but should it have ended at season 6?
Mm-mm. I'm one of those guys. If you have a world with that type of content, there's no way you can end it like that. Because, and I like the fact that season 7 was lending itself to new people, and that's it's like when I was talking about Halo or Gears of Wars, and people were like, okay, the third game should have been it. Why? It's a war. There's so many different stories you can tell. There are so many different events that have happened that we haven't experienced after the initial one. There are so many different characters.
I understand that, but did it have to start over? Different characters, yes, but the same thing happened.
But we don't know what happened. We see season 7.
Okay. Okay,
I mean, I guess they said a kid shows up at the doorstep and all of that.
Yeah, we saw that at the end of season 6.
I don't mind that. I don't mind it. Because if he did move to New York and he left Storybook behind, what's the best way to bring him in? What he going what Emma gonna walk in there like Princess Peach did on Super Mario Brothers? Come over there with her clothes all messed up with a gun, some she need their help and all that.
I guess we'll just have to come back on that when we
Yeah.
see it. So we'll just kind of dumb that one down for now.
Yeah. So okay, I can't really make an opinion about that.
And this is what saved it. Some say Ruby is Little Red Riding Hood and the Big Bad Wolf.
Fantastic. That was one of the best things I
That was
liked
really
about that.
good. I did like that.
It was clever, and it actually made me like her character more because that did make me like her character more, despite the fact that after that you don't really see her that much anymore.
Right.
Yeah. Well, after the little romance that pops off.
Yeah.
That came out of the freaking blue.
Did not call for that.
Yeah.
Anyway.
But yeah, that was a really good twist, a really good story as well too.
And
I liked it. I'll be like the little kid out the Scruff McGruff commercials. I like it. I like it.
So her robe actually kept her from shape shifting into the Big Bad Wolf. She ate her boyfriend.
She ate that mama jamma up. I was like, damn, she ate that boy up.
All right.
I didn't have a problem with that. My problem that I had with it came along later on when, okay, this is his father. This is his father. Like, when it kept going.
Yeah, like, okay.
Like, if it was revealed later on, after everybody else's reveal happened, you know what, I'm talking like, this is spoiler free. Like, if that would have happened after the whole thing with Mr. Gold, finding out who Peter Pan is, finding out who's, the Black Fairy is and all of that,
yeah,
then they said that
everybody's related.
Yeah, then I'll be like, no. But as far as him being, I don't mind it. I really didn't mind, because if you think about who else could it be? I don't know. That's like
what?
I mean, I don't know. I'm on the fence.
I'm like, okay, shouldn't Neil be old as hell? But I forgot it was a different world. So after he went through the hole and he had some trouble, met Emma. Did we see the meeting between? We did see the meeting between him and Emma. Okay.
I don't mind it. I guess you could say, because everything was already so convoluted.
He shouldn't have died. I know that.
I don't know. I don't mind it.
Well,
I don't mind it, but I don't think it saved it, and I don't think it hurt it.
You think she would have got back with Neil instead of Hook?
I don't know. I don't know, because her being with Neil or whatever seemed like it was more like she was immature. Because it's like, what could he do for you? He was a dude living on the street and stuff. That's immature. That's like immature thinking. But at the same time, you kind of see the same thing about Hook. He's like a bad boy, and it's like, yeah, it's kind of immature thinking too.
I mean, well, they wrote Neil off. It was like, come on, because after Belle and Rumple got together and she was pregnant, it was like, well, dang, okay, Neil is your son too.
This is what I'm going to say to that. It didn't hurt and it didn't save it. Mm-hmm. It was in there. But yeah, and also, and I guess the reason why I'm saying it is because it led to Mr. Gold being the grandfather, but that didn't lead to anything. Right. It wasn't like he was like.
He was still trying to miss Henry.
It wasn't like it wasn't like Henry had like some untapped magical potential or anything like that. They didn't really do anything.
Right.
So, so the next one is Peter Pan is the villain of the story. That was awesome. He didn't do nothing, but it was awesome. I like the Shadow more than him. I mean, like, he was a cool bad guy, but I wanted to see him whoop some ass, do something. But he did the one thing like all the villains do. They try to talk and manipulate you, but he didn't like actively do anything.
Well, maybe that was why, because he didn't act on it. It was just a whole lot of talk.
But if you think about, like, all the villains are like that. They like when Regina killed the woodsman, that was an act. She did that. I was like, yeah, like, I want to see her.
Regina was bad at it.
Yeah, Regina was probably the one villain in here that actually did stuff, and you're like, yeah. But honestly, yes, the Peter Pan being the bad guy was a really good twist.
Right. The character that played him, they the little young look, but it's like his eyes is telling a whole different story. Like,
He had them
don't
crazy eyes.
mess with me.
You don't want to. Oh, okay. Let me stop.
But yeah.
And you said this too. The
Yeah.
whole Dark Swan, Dark Hook
They
arc.
said that hurt it. I think it did because they didn't do anything.
Yeah, they didn't do anything. Well, Hook did something
A little bit.
and killed the one guy everybody wanted to see for like the whole freaking series. Freaking Merlin.
Yes.
Everybody wanted to see Merlin. He just killed the hell out of him. He's like, no.
Like, it's like all of a sudden they back in the storybook and she's the Dark Swan, but like,
She didn't do anything.
yeah, what did she do?
That was one of the things I noticed. It was like, okay, it was like it didn't really, yeah, it wasn't like the skies darkened and lightning came out, flew out her ass, or she was out here terrorizing people, and she had some kind of duality thing going. It was
That's why they
Yeah.
say that even though Rumpelstiltskin is what do you call it, the dark one, that people got tired of seeing him, so they, okay, well, let's put Emma as a Dark Swan. She was supposed to actually,
and she was the same.
yeah, fill that gap. What fill do something other than what Rumpelstiltskin did, so that way we can say, oh, we had two good dark ones. Because at first Rumple, he was good, and he just started to get,
Repetitive.
yeah.
But like I said, the whole premise of it was good. And I actually, oh cool, she made it home. But it's like the premise of it was good.
Mm-hmm.
The problem is they kept playing it safe. No, it's her being Dark Swan was like when we watched Transformers the last night and Optimus turned bad. 90% of the movie he wasn't even in.
Mm-hmm.
Or not 90%, but he wasn't in the movie like the majority of the time.
Mm-hmm.
And then when he finally turned good, he felt bad. I'm like, why do you feel bad? You didn't do anything. I mean, he killed two robots, and he beat up Bumblebee, but he didn't like do anything. She ain't do nothing there. She went on a killing spree and was whooping people's ass and everything. It'd have been good, and it would have showed that. And the show and her being a dark one would have showed. It would have given Emma's darkness was revealed to have been caused by Hook's sudden demise, therefore became a paradoxically heroic kind of darkness. I could roll with that. The problem with that one is,
So either way, she turned out to be a hero.
yeah, that's a problem. Like I can understand her taking the darkness in to save his life. Fine, I'm good with that. But the thing about it is, the reason why Rumple keeps doing the things he's doing is because the addiction to dark power. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
yes, he wants power,
Yeah.
but you got to show that dark power is addictive. Well, she messed that up.
Yeah, you can't have it. You can't just go fully dark and then become a hero. It's like, okay, I'm the dark one, and instead of running over somebody, no,
It's like
something like that. Instead of running over somebody, I go past them. Let's just say that.
yeah, it's like if somebody cuts you off, you the dark one, and you feel that energy, and when you get pissed at them and you blow that shit up, and you're like, oh my gosh, I lost control of it. Makes more sense. But she didn't do that. She
Do
didn't.
you remember Hook's time as the dark one? It's like very,
It was brief. It was like an episode.
yeah.
I mean, episode and a half. All I know is he killed Merlin, and that was a BS because he just died. I'm like, you ain't gonna fight or nothing?
Right, and
Bah, do something.
and Merlin was, gosh, that's why they went there or got transferred, whatever. Wow. Okay. Here's a sage. That's what they say. Writing Neil out.
Only reason I would say that is the whole Rumpelstiltskin jumping into his body when he died, and was keeping him alive. Like that part of it, yeah. Like no, he should have died. Just let him die, and you just deal with it. Not let him die. You save him, then he die anyway, and then you agree with it. Like no, come on. I did, and then it wasn't like I didn't like Neil's character because he didn't honestly didn't get enough. What didn't get enough to do anyway.
Right.
Like that whole arc with, uh, wait, I say it like this: all the chances that Hook got, he should have got them.
Yeah.
Neil should have been in like the first, the first three seasons, and then probably died off in season three, which I think that might have been what happened. But and then like have Hook be in the last three seasons. But Neil should have been the one that got all them chances because Hook did.
Yeah, they just said it was he didn't offer nothing to the story, so he's just Henry's father.
What's his name? Whitney, iZombie.
Who?
The dude we always say don't never do anything.
Gosh, really want to go? I don't know.
Whitley, Whiteley. I do not know. What's the one guy? What's the one guy on iZombie who he always says he doesn't do crap? Lily White. That's what it is.
Oh, Lily White. Yeah, Whitney.
I was trying to. I said the name backwards. Whitley, Lily White. Wow. Okay. But yeah, honestly, that's how it went out for him.
Okay.
Let's see. You said another thing that hurt it is writing Robin out. Hell yeah. Robin was one of the best characters. Suave. He had a great personality.
But when they brought him back in, he acted like a damn douchebag.
Yeah. I guess I can understand why. Like how they did it, I'll say is acceptable. The problem with that is the fact that they shouldn't have wrote him out in the first freaking place.
Because hell, it just made it harder on Regina to try to get him to fall back in love with her again.
And in fact, I think this whole show is nothing but torture about that woman. Because every season something bad happens to her specifically. But honestly, writing Robin out was a big problem. Now, whether this was something that they intentionally did for the story or it was something working on behind the scenes, that's one thing. That's we don't know what happened. But it was a problem but it was a problem that they did write him out because he was a really great character. Another thing that saved it is the Mad Hatter's origin story. Loved him. I wish they would have did more with him.
He was in there. What? I briefly remember him.
He was like 3 episodes.
Yeah, I remember the hat.
they used the hat to get to. Forgot where they used to had to get to. All I remember is he lost the hat. Mm-hmm. Cora cut his head off, but it didn't kill him. And she was trying to get him to make another hat. And I think that's like the last we ever seen of him. Why did they do that to the Winter Soldier? Huh? Why did they do that to him?
Okay.
Yeah, that's Sebastian Stan.
Oh, okay.
They did that to the Winter Soldier. No, but he was actually one of my favorite characters too. I really wish he would have had more to do, especially with all the world jumping that they kept doing.
Yeah. They said his entire journey from madness to loss to separation to reconciliation was one of the series' strongest storylines.
Mm-hmm. I really did like his character.
And it was short.
Yep.
Yeah.
This is a shame considering how short it wound up being due in large part to Sebastian Stan's success elsewhere. MCU!
Wow. Okay.
Go ahead and say it.
Okay, this is what hurt it. Again, writing Ruby out. After what season was it? That we didn't see her no more.
3rd season? And she jumped out of there for a while. And then she came back in like the 6th season?
Yeah, like really. She just...
Yeah.
And we saw, kept seeing her grandma, but not her. So...
Like, Ruby was, like I said, one of the best characters because and I liked her because she was young. She was like the young cat of the group.
She was a wolf.
Yeah, and when they did that with her, that did. I was like, man, wow, she was a really great character. And then the way it went to when she came back.
Yeah, I'm like, yeah.
Let me tell y'all. Let me tell y'all. Okay, they got Ruby to leave off the series for a while. I mean, I guess she was making movies and stuff or whatever. Okay, fine. But then she did come back, and it was into this romance that was completely left field. Where she was Alice.
No, we did not.
Yep, and that's a lie. That is a freaking lie.
Okay.
This is what I was about to complain about too.
Mm-hmm.
Now they say what messed it up was they wrote her out, and what saved it is the fact that when she did come back, she was gay. No, that was stupid. It was left field.
Right.
There was literally no reason for her character to be gay, and just because you travel along somebody with somebody don't mean that you okay. And this was stupid. Her character tried to be gay. Mulan's gay. She wasn't even. Mulan didn't even get no action.
Right. Dorothy was gay.
So I'm like, wait a minute. So I was like, okay, wait a minute. So Mulan's gay, and she was traveling with Dorothy, but nothing happened there.
Mm-hmm.
But then when Little Red Riding Hood is traveling with her, all of a sudden she's gay for no reason. That's stupid. Like I ain't got nothing against the gay character, but when they made Mulan gay, I was like, okay, I could kind of roll with that.
So Ruby fell in love with Dorothy. When did they have time to?
I mean, I mean, you know, that thing is about true love and all that, and the time is different and all that. But my thing is, all of these seasons that was never established. That's like when I was watching Supergirl. The sister Alex just all of a sudden became gay. I was like, really? Like I'm like, okay, that's different between a character being that way and falling in love, and then you can clearly see that the writers were just throwing it in there just to throw it in there. Like I said, if Mulan was a gay one, I could understand her and Dorothy getting into it, being
I mean,
that
look
fine.
how they
And then
had Dorothy dressing.
I ain't gonna lie, Dorothy was kind of manly. That was
That's
big chick.
Look how they had her dressing.
She looked
like Dorothy from the Wizard of Oz. I know you're not supposed to go exactly like the animated or the movie, but come on. Now we all know the story of Mulan dressed up as a man to go to war. Okay, she looked very much like a woman than Dorothy.
Yeah, she
does. Was a
dude. That's why I like Mulan, because she did maintain her femininity, or whatever. But Dorothy, she do look like I could eat me some tree bark and stuff. I was like, and then on top of that, you got her next to these really feminine characters.
Yeah.
And I was like, but that whole making Ruby gay was just stupid. It's just stupid. Stupid. What hurt it is attempting to redeem Regina by magically declaring her the person capable of the greatest light. Why would that be a problem?
Okay, what do they mean? Let's see. Okay, the evil isn't born, it's made. So I guess what they meant was she changed, right?
Uh-huh.
So is that what they meant? This is after years I've seen her produce nothing but darkness. So they said that hurt it by trying to make her like a sympathetic character.
She is. What it is what they're saying is. What they're saying is this. I guess my interpretation. They're saying all of this stuff happened to her, so you can't have no choice but to feel sorry for her being bad. So that way, when she does finally overcome it, she's already fell into that dark side. Mm-hmm. So that will make her much more powerful on the light side because she's overcame the darkness. Mm-hmm. Whereas the character like Emma hasn't experienced it at all. Mm. And nah, buddy, I'm good on that. I actually think it's good because if you ask a bunch of fans who's the one character that most of the people are rooting for out of between Emma and Regina, Regina character, and it does make sense. Now the way they kind of played it off in the series could have been worked out a little bit better.
Yeah, because every time you saw Regina, you saw her, and then all of a sudden you see a scene like when her boyfriend, and then you see another scene of her chopping off somebody's head.
Like you see her on the dark side, now let's see her completely turn that around to the light side. And I'm not saying that maybe it might not be the greatest light, but she should be. It should be significant, so she should be up there. Uh, just like when it came to going back to the Dark Swan, Emma's light. When she goes to Dark Swan, she should probably be should be the worst one because
That's
she was on the
true.
good side, now she's on the bad
We
side.
didn't see that now, did we?
Mm-mm. So I'm good on that, but I kind of disagree with you on that one, buddy.
Okay, they said what saved it is David isn't the real Prince Charming.
I could roll with that. I was so surprised when that jumped off. I was like, what the hell? I can go with that. It was a good story. That was actually a good one.
Okay,
Oh,
continue.
that was it. That's all I had to say. That was one I thoroughly agreed with. I'm just glad it wasn't triplets.
Oh right, because his brother,
Was it
was he
dick?
throwed or
Mhm.
got his head chopped off? Or...
No, he was talking shit and got stabbed. Then he got pushed into the ocean of eternal damnation, being a jackass.
Okay. Well, yeah, they didn't say much on here, but yeah. Okay, cool.
So I'm like, as far as that goes concerned, yeah, that was a really good story.
Okay. Okay, they said what hurt it was the entire Maid Marian plot.
I don't want to say it hurt it. It wasn't fleshed out enough. It really wasn't. I could see I can see them. I could see that storyline. Just wasn't fleshed out enough. All you show is they say Man Marion. Man Marion died. It was Zelina. That's it. That was basically it for her.
Yeah, because
And this Robin Hood, of course, Maid Marian was going to get pulled into the story some kind of way. So I didn't have a problem with it.
But why would they think that hurt it? I mean, should have just been left out because it really didn't go nowhere, like you said.
Yeah, that's well. I don't know. I don't know.
That was after he came back, right? As the new Robin, or before?
No, that was before.
Okay.
He at this point he'd been in the world.
Okay.
Because in his time, Regina had already killed her,
Right.
but he didn't know that.
Okay.
So when they went back or whatever, they brought him back.
Who was Jefferson? Oh, Mad Hatter.
Yeah, it's a Mad Hatter.
Okay, they said what saved it. Jefferson starts to make Emma believe in the truth of magic.
When was this?
It was through kidnapping Emma and forcing her to confront the falsehood of the reality she had been living. Jefferson was the first person to make Emma truly question the nature of life in Storybrooke. So this was after?
Or was it early? Yeah. I guess he. I don't know. I don't know. I don't remember. His stuff was so short. I don't remember.
That's why I feel like it was Jefferson. My bad, y'all.
I don't remember. It was, okay, that's on me.
Okay.
I had to skip that one. Sorry.
The Wish Realm episode said what hurt it.
I don't want to say it hurt it because I actually liked seeing different incarnations of the characters. Robin was an ass. Hook was fat, and that was funny. They were on. Regina was seen.
Rumpelstiltskin was a madman who carried Belle's bones with him. Wow. And he was already a madman, but.
And remember, Regina was good, but everybody thought she was bad. Now, what I didn't like was the whole thing when she killed Prince Charming and Snow to get her to get Emma to believe or in her abilities and stuff.
Yeah.
I was like, that's kind of intense, don't you think?
Well, they said it hurt it.
Hook became a bumbling, overweight alcoholic. That was hilarious.
As I said, the seventh season made the Witch Realm Henry a more real character than he originally had been intended to be. Well,
like I would have actually kind of liked to see them kept going with that. How would they deal with not an evil Henry, but a Henry trying to kill Regina? I mean, he did try to kill her, and she was going to let him do it too. That's how Emma believed in her abilities. Because remember, she was like, well, stab me, and then he went to stab her, and Emma was like, did whatever. Yeah.
Stab me.
So that okay.
Through the magic of time travel, Emma gets to help her parents meet for the first time. They don't remember?
I remember that.
Snow drifts and there's no place like home.
But it was their fault. It was like her fault that it messed up. And then she had to kind of get them back together. They pulled it Back to the Future, where in Back to the Future, he messed up his parents' meeting, and he had to get them back together. Otherwise, he was going to cease to exist. Same thing.
Okay, I remember. Okay.
Yeah. And then all of this stuff that started trickling down happening, but it was like, ugh. Oh, let's see, what is this?
What hurt it is the whitewashing of Regina's abuse of Henry.
What do they mean by that?
Let's see. They say she struggled to make Regina into a character worth caring about. She struggled to care about anyone other than herself. The show created because of her was the idea that Henry was somehow Regina's true love. Okay, I think I remember that.
I don't want to say that's like abuse, because I've seen some stuff where you're abusing kids. But that, I don't want to say that that's actual abuse. I can say that's manipulation.
Chalk it up to she wanted to be loved. It's like she wasn't loved. She wasn't loved by her mom. Her one true love died.
Honestly, I don't care what they say. I actually understand. That actually made me connect with her a little bit more, because yes, she was bad, and yes, she did these bad things, but
in all that she did, from the first beginning of the series until the end, she loved Henry.
Yeah,
no matter what. So
even though she didn't do it by what we consider, what our standards of love is.
Yeah. So no, I don't think that was abusive. It was more like her just like, I love you. You just like something like that.
It's kind of like with Rumpelstiltskin. As frustrated as I was with the character, the stuff that he did, like with Belle, some of the stuff that he did, I was like, okay, I can understand why you're doing it. But while I had some other stuff, I'm like,
yeah, he like.
And I'm like, nah,
he just did it.
You're like, you're kind of a dick, bro. You're trying to play it behind your girl, but nah. What was the one thing that he didn't she put herself under that some kind of, either he put her under that curse or she did it herself. I think she did it herself.
And she went to sleep.
Yeah. Like when he had did something for her. I can't remember what it was. Did he put her in a box or something? Like, he's doing some bad things to Belle.
Yeah.
But it wasn't like he went out to do them to intentionally hurt her. Ooh, I'm sorry. That was a poor choice of words and actions. But I don't want to say that's abuse. I really don't. because she wipes his memory because she don't want to Emma, but it wasn't like she just wiped his memory every freaking day or some stuff
Right,
like
just
that.
just to be an ass. Okay, we have discussed. There's one more, but we have discussed all that and
There's a couple of
what.
things they skipped.
Yeah, what hurt it, what saved it. Is there something that hurt it or saved it that you remember?
Why the hell they didn't bring up all of this repetition with Hook? Not
Exactly.
Hook. Yeah, with Hook as well as Rumpelstiltskin.
Mm.
And also, you know what? We got to come back on here, and we're doing another Once Upon a
Yeah,
Time
but I
anyway.
didn't see them
So
bring up Snow.
I didn't see them bring up the Black Fairy either. Like, I mean, but it's just 20 things. There was like 40.
Yeah.
But
All
anyway,
right. Number one is Emma breaks the curse by giving Henry true love's kiss.
what's the problem with that? Oh,
Oh, saved
no, it
it.
saved it.
I mean,
Okay, never
I'm
mind.
sorry. I don't
No.
know why I said hurt.
Okay. Yeah, that's good. That ain't nothing wrong with that. I mean, the whole premise of the show, damn near is true love anyway.
Right.
And what's gonna be truer than mother giving her, well, a parent giving their child a kiss,
Right.
and they damn near dead.
I mean, that's like okay. Now, even though you don't like this movie, but Maleficent, I like that part where it was her giving the girl a kiss instead of the boy. I did like that
I
because
didn't, because he didn't do crap in the movie.
it's not always got to be a man. So, but I don't think nothing about that. I mean, it's a mom and a son. So
Yeah, and plus Maleficent sucked. The first half of it was good.
Hush.
It was original. You definitely deserve a thumbs up for that.
hush now.
The last half of it can burn in. Okay, never mind. But yeah, that's the gist. I mean, that was actually a pretty good list. I didn't really have a problem with that. What the hell is that?
Hush. Hush now.
Oh, okay. Okay. All right. So, guys, you heard our thoughts about the post, those 10 things that were that hurt Once Upon a Time, and the 10 things that saved it. You heard our opinions on it. Yeah, there was a lot of the things on there. I was like, okay, yeah, I'm rocking with you. There was some other things I'm like, nah, you're on there, buddy.
Yeah, you went off with Ruby though.
Yeah, that was so forced. Good
I was like,
God.
ooh.
That's when I'm just stop forcing crap. Gosh. But anyways, guys, in the comment section below, let us know what are your thoughts on this video. Did you agree with our points? Did you agree with their points? Just let us know. And also things that we didn't consider and they didn't consider, let us know that in the comment section below. Be sure to hit that like, share, subscribe, and that notification button to get the best of what's going on this channel. And we'll definitely catch you guys on the next video. Narik and Cruz signing out.